Hey everybody, welcome back to Dirt Grease Outdoor Peace. So today I'm up at the property where I work and we are going to try out my new land plane. New? Doesn't look new. What the heck happened to this thing? Well, it is new. I've had it for probably at least 3 weeks now, and the weather wasn't great. It was kind of a little drizzly rain that I had, and I wanted to use it. Wasn't all that great. Sometimes I would just grab it and start working with it, and wanted to get some experience with it. And I didn't have my cameras with me, and I wanted to take the time to dedicate this back house and the driveways back here to show you guys how well this thing works. And that was the other thing too. I knew that they worked, and I knew that they smoothed out the ground really well, but I wanted to have some experience with it and have a nice day and show you guys how well this thing can cut the grass and the weeds out and reestablish the driveway. And this is a perfect example of a nice driveway with a lot of good material in it, and it's just overgrown with weeds. And this is a good way to rebuild your driveway without using a lot of nasty chemicals to kill this off. And then with the chemicals, you can go through and kill all this stuff, but then it looks better, but you still have all the dead grass. I guess if you were going to use chemicals and kill all this stuff, I would want to come back with some kind of a torch or something and burn it off, or maybe even do a two-part deal with the land plane and maybe kill it and then land plane it. So we'll see if there is a good way to go about it, where maybe I can kill a lot of it with the land plane and then come back and spray what's remaining. So we'll just have to see. Well, the guy that owned this before, it just put in, I mean, there was no limit to the amount of money that he would spend on putting gravel in. If I had to guess, that there would be a foot of gravel underneath this and then probably 6 inches of stone on top of here. And the driveway comes over here. It comes around down between these stones here, and then actually continues down by the pond. And he used to spray all this, and it just got to the point where it was a lot of maintenance with the sprayer. There used to be a lot more traffic, so the driveways didn't get like this. Now there isn't very much traffic, so it got grown in like this real bad. So this is probably at least 14, maybe 16 foot wide driveway right here between those trees. And I don't know how much I'm gonna do down here, because this is the bigger, like 3 and 4 stone down here, and the land plane kind of bounces and churns a lot more on that. So we can try it, but I don't know how well it's going to work. This part down here I might have to spray. I did a decent drive around first thing to show you all the way around the house what all this looks like. this looked pretty decent before, but this was one pass with the land plane, and it looks like somebody just came through with a dump truck and just dropped new stone on there. That was just, and you can see where I went right there, and that was just a one pass with the land plane a week or so ago. Same thing here. This is all gravel back in here. It just needs to be churned up and cut those weeds out of it. I don't know what that little bird flipped up that. I don't know if it was a piece of grass or what. No, it was a piece of wood. That little tiny bird had that, or maybe it was flipped up and the bird was just sitting on it and then it flew away and it fell over. That was funny. So I'll get you guys set up here in front of the house, and I have my other camera with a magnet, so I'll get some shots of the way this thing works. Yeah, so it was brand new a few weeks ago. I've been using it, and this is all pretty flat back here. If there is a spot where the driveway has some crown to it, you can use the adjustment on the side of the 3-point hitch and actually pitch the land plane a little bit, just to make sure you get the edges. I did get the reversible cutting edges for both sides, because I do use it in reverse to kind of polish everything off at the end. So I don't think this is actually, yeah, it's not scratched. There's just sometimes a weed or a branch will go up against there and leave a little mark, and then the dust will stick to it. So I'm using the John Deere 3520 today. That's up here at the property. It's not a bad little tractor. I don't have anything against John Deere. The mowers up here are John Deere. The only thing I'll say about this tractor, the cab is nice. It has an air ride seat. The air ride seat is nice. Steering works good, tilt wheel. It's got air conditioning and all that. The only thing I'll say about John Deere that I've noticed, especially this tractor, the hydraulics are terrible. The loader control sucks on this thing. I hate to say it, but my Kubotas spoil me. The Kubotas are so smooth to do a two-function, lower and curl, raise and tilt. The controls on the Kubotas are so smooth. The John Deere's kind of suck in that department. And the same thing with the rear, with the 3-point hitch. It's not smooth. It's not as easy to control the height. It jumps one position to the other. The Kubota is just smooth, and it feels like you could just put it exactly where you want it. So we're a little limited there. This tractor is probably in the bottom end of what you would want size-wise, power-wise for this land plane, but it has been doing the job. A lot of times I have to use it in 4-wheel drive, especially when the box blade gets filled right up. You have to run this thing in 4-wheel drive to pull it along. So I don't really want to beat this tractor up too bad, so we'll just try to go easy on it. If I was gonna try to do some major work on a driveway that needed the rippers down and all that, I would have to use a bigger tractor. Like this would go perfect on my 40 horse Kubota that I have at home. So we'll get started. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. We are getting dangerously close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed recently, everybody that's here, and we're going to try to do our best to get you guys some good content. And if you enjoy the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video with people that share the interest in the equipment and the outdoors. So we'll get started. Thanks. when the grass is in there real thick like that, it can clog up the stone as it's going through the blades on the land plane. So sometimes it's tough to not take too much. A lot of times it'll just build up in there so much it'll start dragging a bunch of stone. But that grass will dry out and you know, kind of look like it disappears after a while. And I'll probably, this one was real bad, so I'll probably have to hit it again in a couple weeks. Hopefully we'll get some dry weather, and that'll help too. And this, especially when you start getting into this grassy stuff like this, if the ground was any wetter than this, it wouldn't work good at all. It would just plug up the plane. So I'm going to go over here to this real grassy spot. I think I'll put the camera right in the middle. Looking pretty good for the first time. That's really a transformation on that piece there. You can see how much stone is actually there. It's just buried underneath the grass. It's like free stone. You're just recovering all the stone that was there. That grass will disappear after time. Like I said, we'll hit it again in a couple weeks if it's dry. It looks great. Okay, so we are done here for today. Put several hours in. It takes quite a bit to churn all this up and to get it looking pretty good, but we've made a lot of progress. We'll go down in the bottom, and this was a pretty good transformation here, but I think down on the bottom side there was a even bigger transformation. Probably didn't show it very well in the preview, but this parking area was all overgrown, and that does a really nice job of cutting the edge back in, and we could let it sit. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It'll knock some of that dirt down, and then hit it again in a couple weeks, and this should really look good. This picnic pavilion is freaking beautiful. Did a nice job down there, and I think this is the biggest transformation here. This was so narrow right here. The weeds had creeped way in, like at least 2 feet on this side and a good foot on this side. So I really was able to open this up, make this look a lot more comfortable to drive through. Kind of took a bunch of stone that was in the middle, brought it out to the edges. But this, my favorite part is how it just redefines that edge. Just puts that perfect edge on it. I love that. Levels everything out nice. It's nice and smooth to drive on. Get into a little bit of the base rock out here. That's where you see these two chunks right here. kind of filled in this corner right here. It was low and wet right in through here. So we got some stone in there. And this looks nice. Look how it cuts that edge in there. Well, I'll have to try to get up here with the sprayer and spray everything. I think it will help to spray everything, and especially when it's this bad, when you're trying to reestablish this much. This has been overgrown for a couple years, so I definitely want to get this all sprayed up and then do it again, and it'll just make it look like brand new. This section here was grown in like up into here, so that looks good. There was a lot of grass in this whole section here. This could use a bunch more passes through here. Cut all the grass out of there. And then these other side roads, I'll probably just spray them for now, and then just see how they look. Maybe hit them a little bit with a land plane. This place back here had, I don't even know, probably $1 million worth of gravel and stone brought in here to build all this up. That's a big parking pad. There's another road on the other side there that goes through the woods. Pretty crazy the amount of material in here. Yeah, this same with this one here. Just kind of running out of time. There's a lot of material here. The driveway used to come over a long ways. This side needs to be done again also, but looks a lot better. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope those of you that are interested in resurfacing your driveway or investing in an implement like that can see how it performed, and if it would be the right tool for the job for you. And hope y'all liked it. If you did enjoy it, please hit that thumbs up button for me. Click subscribe for more content, and share the video with your friends and family and other outdoor minded people that would enjoy it. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching Dirt Grease Outdoor. Peace.